Today, speaking to you on the 10th of May, late in the evening, at 1700 hours, 10th of May 2025, a ceasefire has gone into effect between India and India and Pakistan on the border between the two countries.
Pakistan called the Director General of Military Operations of India at 15:35 hours earlier this afternoon. It was agreed between them that both sides would stop all firing and military action on land and in the air and sea with effect from 1700 hours Indian Standard Time today. Instructions have been given on both sides to give effect to this understanding. The Directors General of Military Operations will talk again on the 12th of May at 1200 hours.
Now, I'd like to explain to you why. President Donald Trump has tweeted that, well, thank you very much. I was in touch with both governments and they've agreed to a ceasefire, and I was very happy that this happened, thereby indirectly claiming credit. The US Secretary of State also spoke to leaders on both sides. In Pakistan, he spoke to the military chief because he knows that the government there is totally meaningless. It's an unelected, undemocratic government. If anything has to be done, it has to be with the military. Effectively, the ceasefire is being implemented. Does it mean a peace deal? Not at all. India's foreign minister, India's external affairs minister has tweeted that yes, we have this ceasefire, we are going to stop, the big guns will stop booming. At the same time, it doesn't mean at all we are going to see what happens, because there'll be a review in the next 48 hours. Now, why has Pakistan asked for the ceasefire? Their Director General of Military Operations spoke to his Indian counterpart. I know what happens. I've seen these, I've heard some of these conversations. He would have said, look, let's stop. And our chap would probably have said, you started it, you stop. He said, all right, I'll tell our fellows to stop firing. We said, if you stop firing, we will reciprocate. Second, Pakistan has suffered enormous losses. They've been telling lies. Their television networks are what I would call the cartoon networks, where they tell their fellows, we've done this, we flew one of our planes and it downed 5,000 Indian fighter planes. We don't even have 5,000 Indian fighter planes, but they've been feeding snake oil to their people.
पाकिस्तान ने यह क्लेम किया कि उसने अपने JF-17 से हमारे S-400 व ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल बेस को नुकसान पहुंचाया, जो कि बिल्कुल गलत है। दूसरा, उसका ये भी मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन कैंपेन था कि हमारी एयरफील्ड जो कि सिरसा, जम्मू, पठानकोट, बठिंडा, नलिया और भुज में है, ये उसका मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन भी बहुत गलत है।
Third and most important, I believe, and I'm saying this with some background, China has probably fired the Pakistanis and said, who told you to use our aircraft and our missiles? Those hadn't been tested in battle. You have tested them against India and they have been destroyed. They have been shown to be totally ineffective. So all the other countries that had placed orders for Chinese equipment, and I know this because I've spoken to, I'm special advisor in 3 African countries, and one of them, they've told me they are reviewing their decision to acquire these Chinese fighters and these Chinese missiles and so on. Now, it's going to hurt China commercially. They're going to be angry with Pakistan about that. And finally, I believe the people of Pakistan who watch international news, not the nonsense that their media tells them, they have been asking, what has happened? In the course of my career, I've seen many instances where one buffoon, because of his inflated ego or whatever, destroys his country. I was seeing this happen in Pakistan with Mad Mullah Munir. Had he not stopped, let me assure you, he would have been roasted for breakfast by his own people. So, he's managed to save his job. The government there will be booted out soon. In any case, they are ineffective. But he can always say that I managed to stop more of my people being killed, more of our assets being destroyed. Will anybody mediate? Both sides have to be willing to be mediated. We will talk directly, I know this, but we had also said that any further act of terrorism will be considered an act of war, which basically means one more terrorist attack and all these ceasefires become meaningless.